humans. My name is Fatu. Thank you for joining me on this next episode of This Could Be a Book podcast, where I read from my personal journals for public consumption for us to have honest, open, and hard conversations to heal traumas and to build a positive, well-rounded tribe on this ghetto-ass planet. Enjoy! Hello, humans. They won't tell you about how Red Riding was the wolf, or Snow White went back to kill the queen, or that Cinderella's stepfamily mysteriously disappeared when she became the queen. They are afraid to let you know that Aurora woke up screaming because a strange man was kissing her without her consent, or how Ariel had no problem killing the two-timing prince and restoring herself back to the sea. The fairy tales we should tell our daughters should be about strong women with real flaws and incredible qualities. Let's raise girls who don't just want to be rescued, but take destiny into their own hands and charge into battle with dragons and their enemies. That's a poem by Nikita Gill. It is now April, which is Poetry Month, and I thought I would read one of my favorite stories. Hello, humans. I am Fatu.
And I'm Dana.
Welcome back to this next installment. This Could Be a Book podcast. Listen, y'all, it has been a day of days. Time of times.
Okay.
Time of times? You want to talk up?
Explain.
It's been one thing after another of a breakdown of me trying to get this podcast shot. Correct?
Okay.
Yes? No?
What has been happening?
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
What's
Let's talk
happening?
we want to talk about healing through traumas. I'm having a trauma response to all of the downfalls of trying to get this shot and becoming so frustrated that I almost got discouraged and really just didn't shoot. And so my mood is a little...
This is one of those days, if something could go wrong, it should go wrong, it will go wrong.
It went wrong.
Yeah, and in spite of all of that,
We're here.
yeah, so that's just in itself a triumph of trauma.
Yeah,
Because despite
truly.
it all, she was going to record this podcast because her partner in crime was going to be relentless if we had to record it in the bathroom and we were going to record it. After reading one of your favorite poems,
It makes you feel better. You
what do
know?
you think? Why does it make you feel better?
Because it's about empowerment, women empowerment, even though, fairy tales. So I will tell you that I didn't watch the Snow White, the Cinderella, those nature. I didn't watch those growing up because I thought they were too girl-like. It just didn't make any sense. Why are you acting this way over a guy or just, but I did watch Hansel and Gretel. That was like my favorite.
Yeah.
Especially when they got to the witch's place and she was feeding them so to fatten them up, to kill them, to eat them. Such things. Anyway.
I watched many of them. I don't know if it's fortunately or unfortunately. I don't remember a lot of them. I remember, the mermaid, and I remember Ursula. I don't remember the story, but what comes to mind when I think of the mermaid, I think of the real life mermaid story that I saw. Even though I saw the cartoon mermaid, I remember seeing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, but you like Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinderella, of course, and the many different versions of Cinderella. But it wasn't, none of those were something that to this day have that kind of meaning for me. With that said, I'm gonna think of a cartoon movie that does have that kind of movie meaning. I mean, to me, outside of my favorites, is just Oliver and Company. Even though I don't like cats, I love Oliver and Company and The Lady and the Tramp.
The old school.
Yeah, it's a very first version of Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
Oh, Happy Feet.
You like Happy Feet?
I
We did
love
talk
Happy
about
Feet,
that.
but it's just about him just being like, look, man, I don't care what y'all going through. That really don't have a lot to do with me. I'm just happy. I'm just chilling.
And I'm gonna dance on my feet.
Yeah, like no matter what comes, what don't come, how I feel.
Remember, he was shunned though because
Yeah,
he
who
didn't
love-
sing.
Yeah, who love me, who don't love me. I'm
Yeah.
just happy in my own skin. So I
Yeah.
think that's why I love Apathy. But outside of that, like, she knows how I feel about cartoon movies. A lot of my friends and family know how I feel about cartoon movies, but I don't really care for cartoon movies. Like, I'm good without them.
I love them. I do love them. I just watched Tangled the other day.
Yeah, she was.
That was like 2 days ago. I was watching.
Yeah. And I was
Tangled.
engaged for the little 7
Then-
to 9 minutes that I was watching.
I was watching the Know For Sure podcast, and they were talking about Moana. And so I will tell you that if the song comes out and I hear that motherfucker everywhere, and the cartoon before the cartoon comes out, I have it loses my interest because I don't want to hear that shit because I know it's gonna be in the movie and I'm just tired of it, right? But they were talking about Moana in such a way that piqued my interest, and so
What they say?
they were talking about how inspirational it is and how they have so many different stories of not just triumph but like strength and encouragement, and they were talking about how the water, you're supposed to flow through the water and be out evenly, and she was connected with the water.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm gonna watch it. And I asked you to watch it with me, but I really didn't think she was gonna watch it with y'all time. She's not the cartoon type. So I watched it. I think it took me 2 days to watch it. Only because I was watching it while you were sleeping. You woke up, so I stopped watching it. But anyway, I cried several times watching it. Totally loved the movie, but I was like that too, even with Frozen. I didn't watch Frozen.
Still haven't seen it.
Because I got tired of that goddamn Let It Go song. Let that motherfucker go over there, away from me. But you know what? They have meanings, but the old school, like Cinderella, I mean, it's all wrapped around this whole, you got to be the perfect woman, or you have to be something else other than just yourself for this man to be with you. But it was kind of cheesy to me. Like, even as a kid, I didn't really get the fact that, we're supposed to, I guess, make ourselves. I'm still not like that, though. You have to present ourselves a certain way. Like, make sure that you go through this little checklist. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe the cartoons or, the Cosmopolitan magazines and all of that. But, when I even think about watching I still haven't seen The Little Mermaid in its entirety. I only know of reading snippets of different things or hearing people talk about it, especially now that we're gonna have The Black Mermaid.
Yeah.
And people were going berserk, so I was like reading what it's about, and not being happy where you are, thinking the grass is greener on the other side. Not realizing that the grass is greener where you water that motherfucker. But she gave up everything known to her for a man.
But in essence,
But
don't we
for
all?
love,
Yeah, but don't we all?
I have.
So
And it got me nowhere, so I think maybe that's where
so when we decide to become one with someone and take that journey of marriage, we in essence do leave everything we've known and venture into a new journey with someone that we haven't had this long, eternal experience.
Right, but what
with.
I'm talking about is she was in the sea, under the water, and she had all of these different things. Her little friends, her family. But I guess you're right. When I think about it and processing, you're right. Because we'll get up in a moment and move somewhere else because you're trying to get to Phoenix. Even though this is not I'm not from Texas and I'm not a Texan or a Houstonian. I've been here long enough that I've planted roots, right? So even though I'm not opposed to getting up and moving, the adventurous side of me is always geek for that. That's how I came here. You know, it wasn't even a hard sell for me to get up and move. I would have said if we could just get up and snap our fingers and go now, we probably would already be in Phoenix. So that you can be stalking your people. And I gotta
I don't
have
know
bail
about the
money.
stalking part, but I do. And just Phoenix, I was just talking, just going to a new place and experiencing new things as much as Phoenix and any other place, you know, being able to take you back home for a few years to experience just being home as an adult, a true adult,
And
life.
living in a tent?
No.
Because you know, home is expensive.
Yeah, home is expensive, but it's
I mean,
an expensively well-rounded
God.
God that could provide no matter where we are.
yeah, no matter
And,
what. Yeah.
But it's like I'm thinking more overseas. As you talk about, you know, those cartoons and the strength of women, who are three, or it doesn't even have to be three, or just like who are strong women? Who are people, females that you see as strong in your life right now?
That are alive.
Yeah.
You.
Who you feel strength from right now?
You.
Uh-huh.
You.
Me, and me.
You. And a
That's
little bit
what's
of
up.
me.
That's what's up. Man, I honestly, this is one of those times, usually I just have my list, but this is one of those times where I really feel like my list would just go on for the entire podcast. But interestingly enough, I don't think that many people understand the impact of seeing whole black families with successful women in them that we were able to watch in the 80s. Say what you may about Bill Cosby, but the Cosby Show,
Yes.
it meant so much. And I think that even for those of us who watched it and watch it relentlessly over and over and over again, I learned something different every time I watch an episode, despite the fact that, like in the heat of the night, I've seen it a zillion times. I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I didn't see that part.
Yes.
I didn't see it that way when I was younger. And I don't think at that time when I was younger, I understood the importance
We don't.
of what I was seeing on the screen. That, wow, I could be a doctor. I could be a lawyer. My family could be together. And everybody, you know, as adults,
So
still
it's
be
just
in
in
the
your
same
subconscious,
household,
yeah.
and, you know, we're rooting for each other, we're celebrating each other, we are honoring each other when we do things that our parents aren't going to be a part of. We're learning from our older brothers and sisters and cousins and people around us, and we're learning social skills and how to be around others our age and how to have conversations and how to share and how to be patient and how to be quick to listen and slow to speak, slow to anger and wrath, and learning that there's a world outside of us and that, you know, it's not all about us, but what we feel and think is important. For me, when I think of women's strength, it goes, the first thing I think of is tilling. Like, not planting the seed necessarily, but tilling the soil, taking care of the soil.
You have to do that before you
after
plant
it's
anything.
after it's been after you've sown the seed. And when I think of that, that's why I think of so many different women. I think of every first lady that I have been blessed to have in my life, from Lady Ross at Palace of Praise. Man, that lady, there's no words to express the impact that she had on my life in such a short period of time that we had before God called her home. Lady J, Janice Gentry. From the moment I met her, she's always been Lady Love. You know, because that's just how she met me. She met me with unconditional love and Like right now, I'm about to cry because, man, the way that lady hugged me, it's like she had already known me for years, and the relationship is still the same. You know, if I was to walk up to her,
It's a
right
genuine
now,
connection.
it's just
Who she is.
She just genuinely loves with her whole heart. You know, every person that is a part of their church and a part of their community, and every person she comes into contact with, and you know, I can't speak of the awesome first ladies that I had in my life without mentioning Maxine Sanders. It was so crazy to the point at her funeral, many people thought that she was my mom and was consoling me with my real mom standing right there. You know, I'm so sorry that your mom passed away. But man, that lady right there, she gave every single day to us little bad kids in Greens Point. And she loved on us.
Greens Point.
When Mr. Benny was being a real dad to us, you know, she would come and give us that motherly love and explain to us why he was doing what he was doing, why he was saying what he was saying. And she would just guide us and let us know, you know, from the space in which he was coming from. Mm-hmm. And that's just outside of the school. You know, I'm always talking about Coach Harriet Williams, Miss Piper, Miss Turtle. I can't remember my little English teacher, my math teacher from the 5th grade, man. My reading and writing teachers, my social studies. It's just so many teachers that have had an impact on my life. I remember me and my brother had the exact same teacher. It was a man teacher. And he coached football as well. And my mom came for a parent-teacher conference. He was like, both of them are your children?
Yeah.
Both of them are your children. They like night and day. You know,
Most time are.
But just seeing the women in the classroom and the strength that they had and enduring and loving us through our hurt and pain and our unknowing, you know, what is it called when you are loving us through our dysfunction.
Yeah.
And knowing that, you know, we come from all these different kind of backgrounds and finding a way to engage us and get us excited about learning. And that's 32 to 25 to 32 kids at one time with your one teacher. And just that ability is God-given. When you think about it in the realm of Cinderellas and Bells, Pocahontas, what do you think?
I still haven't seen Pocahontas.
Any version?
Any version. I have seen Mulan.
Mulan. Okay, no, I haven't seen it.
That's the one where she has to pose as a guy. No, I'm telling you. That's the one she has to pose as a guy. Like her family is very traditional. And they want her to get married, but she's not that type. She really wants to honor her family in a different way. She wants to fight in a war with the men. And of course, that's not allowed because you're a woman to stay home. And so, of course, she disobeys her parents and she goes and she, at the end, but it's not even, when I think about it, it's not, for me, it wasn't even that she was a woman overcoming, you know, because they thought that she was a man until the end. It's the sheer grit. I appreciate the fact that she didn't just do the norm that, you know, her family wanted her to do. She had a passion and she followed that passion. I mean, she could have got killed, but I don't think that she would have cared anyway. She probably would have, I know that if I would had to be forced to marry someone that I didn't really care about the traditions and the makeup and the tea and all these other different things, most people would just be miserable for their whole lives and go along with the process. And probably because I went along with the process and was miserable the whole time, I identified because I didn't see it until recently. So I can, you know, identify with that, especially not living my lifestyle was no longer traditional. And so, you know, I identify with that, but even the sheer grit of, I know I'm feeling away, and to not let me down, you got to fight through it. You know, you want to bring honor to your family and all of that, but it's just about the sheer happiness of living how I want to live, doing what I want to do, being happy. And so that's what I took away from that particular movie. But yeah.
That's what's up. Thank you guys very much for joining us on this episode of This Could Be a Book. For those of you who are joining for the first time, please like, subscribe down below. And This Could Be a Book is spelled how?
THIZCUDBABOOK. Boom.
There you have it, guys. So you were talking about strength and grit. And initially you began today's episode saying that there were so many things that took place that could have deterred you from doing this particular podcast, but you persevered.
Yes.
And
I made up a song along the way.
I like to hear it.
No, I'm not singing it. You heard me sing it earlier, and the people don't need to hear that whole horrible cackling that I be doing. So it's fine.
Yeah, I think, yeah,
No.
I hear what I'm saying.
We cannot hear them bad. We can't hear them. You could do that for the rest of the episode, and it will not sway me to hurt y'all ears
So
and be flagged. But yeah, I had to dig deep just to even get it. Because at first I was just like, well, fuck it. I just won't even do it.
So, talk about those days where it seems like it's easy for you to listen to that negative voice in your head and give up. What tactics do you use? What reminders do you use? What affirmations? Where do you pull your strength from?
Honestly, you know what I do? I go in the bathroom and I shut the door, I turn the lights off, and I listen to music and I dance. On those days, for the most part, that's what I do. Or they are songs that I know absolutely, when I hear them, I can't help but move. And so those are the songs that I listen to. And when I listen to those songs, it helps me to, and when I open the door, it's like when I step out, I'm stepping out differently. And then I do whatever I need to do to move forward. Because now I recognize, it may take me a minute of sitting there and staring at the wall, but I will, like, okay, no, you've been here too long. Get up. I know, I think I touched on this before. Get your ass up and do something. And then, depending on where I'm sitting, Mazakina wake me up out of the madness now. Like, I truly believe that she feels when I'm in that space. And if I'm sitting to where she can get to me, she'll jump up on my lap and put her head here and start moving. And that wakes me up, and then I get up and go listen to music, and I dance, and I come back and just do whatever.
So you have to dance like David dance.
Don't get me started.
Joy.
That's not one of the songs.
That's not it.
It's not.
There's too much booty in the bed.
It's not that either. You really want to know what the first song is? Always.
What?
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Dr. Dre.
Whatever it takes.
Sometimes I listen to Korn. Y'all want to single say fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. It helps me get through that. Rock music really, though, will get me. That's when I'm generally like upset and I'm angry. I'll listen to rock because it gets that out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you listen to other than podcasts
It's
and church
always
music?
gonna be church music. It's always gonna be some worship music for me. And not only just listening to the worship music, but I actually began to worship as well.
Mm-hmm.
And man, there is nothing to compare going before the throne and
No, it's not.
praising God.
That's my 3 a.m. thing.
Man, like I really feel like my spirit leaves my body and goes to heaven. and I am before him, and I am letting him know how much I love, adore, appreciate it, how grateful I am, and you know, I'm constantly giving my life, my heart, my soul, and every situation to
Everything.
him, and asking him to give it back to me as he sees fit, and that I'm praising him because the way that he sees it is always greater than how I envision it.
Always.
And you know, just continuing to talk about the concept of time. I'm so grateful because with understanding how precious time is, I am 40 and you are
48.
So for your family's lifeline, you have about 99 to 105, right? So let's just say you're 50.
Mhm.
That means you only have 50 more birthdays.
That's a long time.
You know, 50 more
Yes.
Easters. And that's if you think of it in that context.
Easters?
Despite the fact, because today is Easter, that's why I said Easter.
Oh, okay.
Resurrection Sunday, despite the fact that, you know, no man knows the hour and or the time for which they will be called home. It's just like, but you know, how I live life, I have to pursue it hard daily because when it's over, all said and done, then I know that it's over because I have nothing else to give to this world. And so I'm going to be satisfied when it's over. So as I look at Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, you know, I go even as further as far as looking at Angela Bassett and Queen Latifah, Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Janet Arcane, Tina Thompson, Bertha Collins. It's different real life and people that I've never met. Kevin Durant, Brittany Griner. I look at those people and all the people that I've already named that I see it on a daily basis. That I get my strength, my compassion, my purpose, my grit, my understanding. I look at Deborah and I see how she sits with those kids.
Yeah, I watched
And,
her
she
when I was
talks.
in there, and when she opens her mouth to talk, especially, it doesn't matter whether she's sitting near them or not, but especially when she's sitting with them, nothing else is happening in their life. Their moments or nothing with children who can't sit still for 5 seconds. Like one of the kids who was all over the place, she started helping him with something, and he was so in tune and so paying attention. And I was like, yeah, this is her.
Yeah,
This
and,
is her.
and it's just like to look at her and see her not only survive but thrive in fulfilling her purpose. I'm just in awe of God's work and how He's working in other people's lives. I look at you, and I've known you for that long, but there's been so much change.
Yeah.
From the beginning till now, guys, it was one of the most amazing projects that I have ever had in my life to encourage somebody to push through and to do something great. I was everything but excited about podcasting.
Oh man.
It was how do I look, how do I sound, what do
The
I
mannerisms,
say?
I still feel like, but
Put my business out there for
That
people to
part.
come in on.
I have to talk. I have
If
to
they
be
don't
vulnerable.
like it.
I have to really do the work. Yeah, no, I was kicking and screaming until the first episode.
And it's just every single time I'm always hearing Whitney Houston, I didn't know my own strength.
No.
So yeah, there are the Cinderellas and the Bells and the Mermaids.
What else? What other ones are we forgetting?
Who knows?
Oh yeah.
But there are so many real life women, ladies, girls who are persevering.
Through times in which I always say, and I know I've said this before early on in the episodes of the podcast, when I think about what I have been through and survived, everybody's story is different. And thinking about some of the things that people have had to endure makes it like, this is mine
Yeah.
and this is theirs.
Yeah, and it's just like,
And
if they didn't go through all of this, I
Yeah.
can make it through this little bit of
it makes me want to
ball.
take all of that and just
Yeah.
take it from them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I could just reach over and snatch it, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Because man, some stuff that I have had the privilege to be told.
I was literally thinking that, like,
Um,
to have the privilege to know, like, some of the background story of Duckworth and to see how she's persevered and how
Mhm.
she's loving on those kids,
Mhm.
despite
Yeah.
when it comes to love. I can't wait till she's on the podcast. Duckworth, we need you to come on the podcast.
It's about
so people can know.
time.
Yeah, it's time is up, actually. You
Beyond
feel overdue.
time. She's supposed to be our pastor.
So people can understand what we're saying and, correlate what we're referencing here. But just to see, women in action,
Mhm.
women doing great things.
How do you feel? How did you feel when I read it and it was really about not fairy tale-ish?
Um,
How did that sound to your ears or your mood or?
oh no, I was just listening to it because again, you asked if I want to read it in advance, and it was
Mhm.
like no, so I was just reading to listen. And as you were reading it, it's like you were saying it, and then I was re-saying it in my head
Mhm.
to get a better understanding. But because I'm not really connected to the business side of it, to the imagination side of it,
Mhm.
it didn't take me there. So I really was thinking about, the overcoming part of it, the triumph through trial and tribulation part of it, the not settling for the woe is me version.
Basically, that's what I think about. That is perfection. That's when I think of what I think about, or that's how I feel about the characters.
Yeah.
Woe is me until I get this person. Woe is me until I live this specific life.
Mhm.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. Damsel in distress and any of that. I don't like that.
But that comes from the traditional, I believe that it comes from the traditional way of, the man is
Well, yeah.
to take care of the household and, do all of those things, and the woman is supposed to be home cooking and cleaning and rearing the children. Guys, I'm thinking of the way to say this correctly. Television, our eyes are the lens to our soul. And so when I was younger, in church, I used to hear all the time that you have to be very mindful of what you allow your children to watch on TV. I didn't think that was important, of course, as an adolescent until I got older, and I'm seeing now how television, technology, and the internet influences so many things that us as humans do. I honestly am one of those people that wish we can go back to the days of no internet. Because I feel like technology, the internet, social media, all of those things, it makes our children grow up way, way too fast.
And unhealthy. Mentally.
We can't control as many things as we used to be able to control. Because even if you can control the things in your home, your child still goes to school. And in school, so many of these other things happen. Like, I don't believe that children should have cell phones that they can't pay for. However, there are other parents who allow their children to have cell phones. So if you don't allow your child to have a cell phone, they're still gonna look at their friends' cell
They
phone.
gonna sit, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot, these days, these children know how to hack the VPN.
Yeah.
And get on some internet sites that they're not supposed to be on, and you still want them to have that social engagement, so you allow them to go to friends' houses, and despite like how you feel, like I want my child to be at someone's house who, for the most part, thinks like I think,
Yeah.
and has pretty much the same rules that I have at my house, but nobody is 100% exactly like you.
Well, no. Yeah, you're right. Nobody is 100%. But you have to come pretty close. Sharif is 25. He'll be 25 in August. as a child in my household. There was only 2 houses that I ever was like, okay, yes. Like, hands down, it don't matter. You want to go to this person's house, I know you're going to be safe over there. And their kids come to my house because their parents know the kids are going to be safe at my house. That's it. I don't care that you went to school with this person for 20 years. I don't know. Because you don't have to just, never ever should you have only had to be just safe with girls. You still have to be safe with boys as well. And so, because boys could be damsel in distresses.
Yeah. And then, you want to lean on the teachings that you taught your child, and, make sure that you train the child up in the way in which they should go so they will never depart from it. But no matter how you train your child or you teach your child, they're still their own person, and they still make their own choices and decisions in life as a result of sound teaching and or not. And so it's scary terrain that we live in. When you think about adolescence and peer pressure, does it go away as adults in regards to peer pressure?
It just looks different. It looks different, but it never goes away. I think that peer pressure nowadays is when you log on to social media and you see, a man or a woman who looks a certain way, and it's all has the filter, and then beyond the filter they've had work done, and this is what you aspire to look like, and you're killing yourself to look like this, or you want to look like this person. It's almost peer pressure. You have to do this to look like this person. You have to look like this person. You have to own these things. You have to move like this to be cool to adults that don't pay a motherfucking thing in your household. They don't pay the cell phone bill. They don't pay the internet that you are watching them on.
Yeah.
Shut up. I'm just saying, we still face that peer pressure. Just think
Clearly,
about,
get a button.
Shut up.
Yeah, struck a chord.
Think about the thing where they were looking all nervously about them having some type of footage about Freaknik, and how the person looked all worried.
Yeah.
The only good thing about back in the day that I like and love, that's one of them, not the only good thing, but it's that there was nothing really recorded. Cameras and certain things do keep us very much aware of, it helps us out sometimes when people commit crimes and whatnot, but you cannot go anywhere in life, without a camera catching you. So that's why I never really believe people when they say, there was no camera, nobody has the footage. There's cameras everywhere. We have a satellite where they can watch everything. Quit playing. Anyway, they should have watched.
Deja Vu messed it up for me, guys. When Deja Vu came out, I'm just like, man, there is no way that they can make a movie about this stuff. And it's not happening in real life. Somewhere, somebody is watching us right now. Here she goes with Matrix.
But it's not even, that's not even the Matrix. I do believe that we are currently in the Matrix.
Okay.
Right? But I also believe that somewhere on a different planet, in a different realm, whatever, somebody is watching us like we watch TV. I feel like
we're their TV.
Basically, we're their entertainment. Like we watch people on TV for entertainment. I also believe that I am alive in multiple universes and realms. My life is just different in each one.
I have a question that don't take long to answer.
Okay.
If I am a celebrity to somebody in the universe somewhere, that means wherever they located at, that it's somebody that's holding on to my residuals in my checks.
You sure right. You.
When I'm gonna get them?
I don't know. We gotta talk to somebody. I don't know.
Where is the money reside?
Right. But the one thing that cartoons did teach me, the ones that I did watch, is my imagination.
Yeah.
But I have also told you that the best human being ever to walk this planet, who loved the shit out of me. I asked her when I was a child, I'm talking about my grandmother, y'all, who was basically like mom, my mom. I asked her if what I was watching, because I've always been interested and fascinated by vampires and werewolves and witches and things of that nature. So I wanted to know if it was real. And so I asked her, and she told me there's nothing on this earth that man can think of that God cannot create.
Right.
So the things that I think in here there's no limit to it. And so I live my life knowing that even though sometimes I feel like I have limits within me, when I think about how down I get sometimes, and I tell myself very stupid because I know better, that there's no limit.
Right.
And I'm only limiting myself.
Yeah.
And so cartoons can be so far-fetched, right? But it's reality.
So, because you have watched some of the cartoons of today, and some of the cartoons of old, do you think that the cartoons of today speak of strength, female empowerment, overcoming like they did back in the day? And if so, what cartoons?
They talk about female empowerment and strength. Frozen is like that.
That's a movie.
It's a cartoon.
It's
a cartoon movie.
Yeah, but I'm talking about okay, I got you.
When I think about Brave, I really like Brave. Have you ever seen it?
No.
The girl with the red hair.
Oh no.
It's oh Lord.
I know of it. No.
Okay, so we'll be watching that on the list. Sorry. Even Moana. Sheer grit and strength. She thought that she needed, the Rock to help her. She really didn't. He needed her. She was the absolute Rock. Yeah, she was. I like that pun there though. But the cartoons that I watch now are cartoons with Xavier. Owlette is strong in the cartoon. PJ Masks. Did you think about that question? Because yesterday we were at your aunt's house, and I was like, "What cartoon is this?" And I was like, "I used to make Bubble Guppies. I used to make him watch it so that
I was thinking based on the topic for today.
Okay. I forgot about that. See how we just get off in a conversation. Love it. And you can tell I'm getting more and more relaxed and comfortable.
That's what's up.
The frustrations are leaving, because this is, no matter what I talk about on this podcast, it is going to always be about overcoming something, going through trauma, and just healing. So I could talk about this wall over here and how it makes me feel. I always at the end feel very accomplished because I pushed through something else, small or large, but it's all therapeutic for me.
Yeah. Healing past trauma through conversation is.
And cartoons.
This could be a book.
Yeah, this could be a book, y'all. This could be a book is on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. On all three of those, I'm gonna need you to like, subscribe, comment on my stuff, because I need to know what the people are thinking.
That's what's up.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
joining
for
us today.
helping me to get through the frustrations of today. I'm gonna go eat some hot Funyuns and feel better.
Sounds like a plan.
Slap!
Hey! Goodbye, human.
Wait. Thank you once again for tuning in. If this is your first video, please stay and watch them all. If you've been here, thank you. Stay and continue on this journey with me. I hope that the words spoken on this podcast reaches whoever needs to hear them. I will leave you with this reminder that I tell myself daily. Verily with difficulty comes ease. We will all have our days or seasons that will range from pitch black to sun-ass bright. What we can do to ease our heavy thoughts on those dark days is remembering that at any given second, the sun will come out. Stay positive, rebuke negativity, and keep living. Until next time, my name is Fatu. This Could Be a Book podcast. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube under the username THIZCUDBABOOK. This could be a book. Bye, humans.